Good morning, guys. This is Dr. S. Prabhakaran, Assistant Professor, Department of Networking and Communication. In today's session, we will be seeing some important interview questions on iterators as well as the special iterators in C++. Now, in this particular question, we are asked to create a C++ program that demonstrates the concept of a specialized iterator. And here, the iterator what we are using is a reverse iterator, basically, which reverses the content. Now we will quickly move into the code part of it. Right now, quickly breaking down the code. Right, we start by creating a vector of integer, basically called as numbers, right, with some random values. So here we have given some initial values. Now next, we traverse the vector in its original order, in the same order, and we are printing and we are showing to the user in the output console. Now next is the excitement part, right? So the introduction of this reverse iterator, okay, wherein which this traverses the vector in the reverse order. Now here we use a regular iterator to traverse the vector in the origin. Now basically we declare a reverse iterator RIT, right? So RIT, and iterate through the vector in reverse order using two functions. One is iterator begin function and the iterator end function, right? Now the reverse iterator is an iterator that moves backward through the container. So basically in our case, it starts at the last element of the vector and moves towards the first element. Now see, we initialize RIT with number.RBegin function. This is what? So number.RBegin function, and iterate until RIT and reaches the number.REnd function, right? That is the reverse end of it. Now the pointer RIT allows us to access the element pointed to be by a reversed iterator. So these are the things. Now we will run the code and we will see what's the output that we get, right? So originally the vector, the value what we pass is what? 1 2 3 4 5. Now on using this reverse iterator, it has to be printed in the vice versa order or in the reverse order, that it should be 5 4 3 2 1. Now we will see in the code how this thing is happening, right? So this is the code, right? And upon execution, see the original vector we are printing. So this part of code snippet which fetches the original vector which is printed in this particular format, and then we are passing this into the reverse vector which performs the operation of printing the values in the reverse order. So the value has been reversed. Now in the second problem, we are asked to modify an vector element using an iterator, right? So now we will quickly move into the code part of it, right? Now we start by creating a vector of integer named numbers, again with some initial values, the same thing. Now we traverse the vector in its origin order and prints the element, and then use an iterator to modify each element by doubling its value, right? So that's what we are going to do. So initially get the value in a vector, and then we are going to use modify vector. In the previous program we saw an example of reversing the vector, but here now you are going to modify the vector. That's the only difference, right? And finally we are going to print the vector again to see the modification, right? So now we will just move into the code snippet of it, and then you'll have a better understanding of this, right? Now with this we will have a better understanding. Yes. Now we begin by traversing the vector in the original order. So this is the first part of it. So Basically it is from the previous program only. The only thing what I have done is, instead of reversing, I have used modification. That's the only thing, right? Now comes the exciting part, where the modification is done by what? By the usage of an iterator. This iterator is going to use what? It's going to double the value of this particular integer, right? Now the iterator provides a way to access and manipulate elements in the container, and in this case we are going to modify the vector elements. We will see how it is being done, right? Now we declare an iterator it, so this part of it, right? So it, and this it also iterates through the vector using numbers dot begin. Okay, so numbers dot begin and numbers dot end function. Then pointer it, okay, allow us to access the element pointed to by the iterator, and in this case we multiply each element with 2, right? That's the thing what we are going to see. So after executing we get the output. So literally it will double that particular value and it will be printed. So basically what? Here in the original vector it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When this particular vector pass into this modification vector, where in which we double the value of the vector, means each value will be taken and will be passed into this vector and the output will be printed. So in our case, if it is 1, means 1 is multiplied into 2. So the modified output vector will be what? 2. So 1 into 2, 2. Next 2 into 2, 4. So 3 into 2, 6. 4 into 2, 8. 5 into 2, 10. Likewise, it goes on. Okay. So if I execute, let's see what's the output we are getting. See, the original vector is this, and the modified vector what we got is this, right? So this is another small program demonstrating the capabilities of special iterators. Now we'll quickly move into the next. Our third program demonstrate the use of std insert iterator, which is also a special iterator which is designed specifically for insert operation. Now we will see how we are going to use this insert element into one vector, right? Now we'll quickly move into the code and break down the code step by step. So first we'll start with a vector of integer named numbers. So as usual, the same thing with some same input, okay, and also we are printing the initial vector. Now we use a regular iterator to traverse and print the original vector. Now we will be using a new vector called new numbers with some new values. This is what, okay. Now using std, okay, back inserter, we create an insert iterator named inserter. This is what, right? So inserter. Now this named inserter is used to insert element into the numbers starting from the position, that is numbers dot begin function plus 2, okay. So it start inserting from that particular position, and finally we use this insert iterator to insert elements from the new numbers into the original vector. Also we begin by traversing this original vector using regular iterators, and we are finally printing the value to show, right? Now we will see what happens if you execute this particular program. So upon execution of this particular program, see, 1 2 3 4 5, this is the original vector, okay. So now we are passing in a new value elements and we are inserting into that particular position, okay. Now see, the particular position here is what? Number begin plus 2, right? So after 2 element, the new thing has to be inserted. So 1 2 is the original, but then the new inserted elements is being inserted, and the rest of the things is printed. So the values 1 to 10, 20, 30, then 3, 4, 5. Right? Okay, so thank you.